Today is the 286th day that I've been waiting for my visa.
I've been waiting for almost 9 months.
It's been 10 months for me.
Over 180 days.
A little over 8 months.
It has been 6 months since I answered the last questions. There hasn't been any update since.
Iran's elite students, granted entry to prestigious American universities.
I applied to 6 universities and was accepted to 3.
I was accepted to 3 universities.
I had 3 offers in the US and 5 in Europe.
Students whose dreams are now in jeopardy due to visa delays. Only a few emblematic of the nearly 700 Iranian students in this Telegram group. Uncertainty binds them all.
I went to Dubai for my visa interview because there is no US embassy in Iran.
I went to Armenia for the visa interview.
Outside the embassy, everyone was talking about an officer who rejected everyone, but I ended up with another officer who was nice.
He even congratulated me for my achievements and awards.
From what I saw, it all depended on how the officer felt. The person they would say yes to would not be any different from me.
They only asked 2 questions. The whole thing took 5 minutes. Then they gave me a piece of paper and told me that my file needs to go through a clearance process.
I asked the officer how long do I have to wait for the visa. They told me, don't worry, you will have it. Just wait for our email. I never received any emails after that.
And now I'm about to cry.
The Enhanced Border Security Visa Entry Reform Act will strengthen the security of our borders.
After the 9/11 terrorist attacks, the American government implemented the Border Security and Visa Reform Bill. The law mandates increased security scrutiny for visa applications from citizens of nations categorized as supporters of terrorism in the United States. Iran has been designated by the United States as a sponsor of terrorism since the 80s.
Yes, exclusively Iranian students. There are some other nationalities that I deal with in these types of cases, but in terms of student visa cases, it's almost all Iranians.
It's uncertain which cases undergo administrative processing, but according to the U.S. Department of State, decisions typically come within 60 days. If the wait exceeds 6 months, students have the right to pursue legal action.
The Administrative Procedure Act contains a requirement in there that says that agencies are required to pass on or to make decisions on matters that are before them within a reasonable time. So if you are waiting for something and it's taking an unreasonable length of time, then you can sue them under the Administrative Procedure Act. In the past, it had been a little bit more manageable. The administrative processing wasn't taking quite so long, but probably since about the Trump administration, certainly going into the Biden administration, it's just gotten worse and worse. And I've had to file more and more lawsuits on that. And just, within the last several months, the State Department has been sort of digging its heels in, and even lawsuits haven't been as effective as they used to be.
While students' time is squandered in Iran, the impact of visa uncertainties reverberates through American universities and awaiting professors.
We fund students with our research projects. So we basically hire students to come and work on our research projects. The job market right now in the US is really, really good. And because of that, the number of PhD applicants has gone down. And that's perfectly normal. That happens because there are a lot of job opportunities. That's why bringing talent from outside the US is sometimes absolutely necessary. Sometimes there is no other way just because there are not enough internal applicants. And without external applicants coming and joining our groups, we won't be able to do the research we want to do.
Data from the Institute of International Education, which tracks international students in the United States, shows that there are currently close to 11,000 Iranian students studying in the country. After a substantial dip during the COVID-19 pandemic, this figure rebounds with a 16% surge in the past year. Yet, it remains below pre-COVID levels. Visa delays loom as a potential threat to this upward trajectory.
We have contacted the embassies they applied to, the State Department. We also wrote to our senator and Congress member. Unfortunately, we haven't heard back, and nothing has happened, and the students are still waiting.
In the past few weeks, a chorus of professors and universities has echoed concerns on social media regarding delays in student visa issuance. They have urged the US government to keep the academic environment free from political tensions.
University environments are political, and that's the case around the world. However, what we observe here is discrimination, contradicting the long-standing discourse in academic circles about providing equal opportunities to deserving individuals. That's just not happening here. Every country has the right to make sure the people they allow in are not in a security risk. We, as residents, expect government to keep these countries safe. But the experience shows that the current processes are not effective. Individuals associated with the regime, such as thieves and the corrupt, navigate through the filter, while innocent people with no political knowledge encounters problems. This is very concerning.
Trapped in this limbo, many visa applicants face challenges securing permanent job contracts in Iran as well. Meanwhile, the average cost for university admissions and visa applications stands around $4,000.
Application fees, sending transcripts, English language tests, the cost of the visa interview. The interview on its own is $500.
For many students, paying this amount again is not an option. In a statement to Iran International, a State Department spokesperson writes, "International students from Iran are one of the top 25 places of origin for international students studying in the United States, and we welcome Iranian students. Every visa decision is a national security decision, and every prospective traveler to the United States undergoes extensive security screening. The Department of State is continuously working to refine our security screening procedures."
We, the students, are not political, nor are we trying to escape the situation in our country. I hope we get an answer and they don't mix us in with everything else.